Today, from Las Vegas, Nevada, it's Week 4 of the NFL on EA Sports. Raiders taking on Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Las Vegas, Nevada. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Baltimore Ravens and the Las Vegas Raiders. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. And Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play. And losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Ravens, and it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And last week's win was indicative of how good this team can be. It was a complete performance.
They run for the first time with Justice Hill. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Throwing is Jackson. That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. That good for 19 yards as they pick up the conversion on 3rd.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 45-yard line. Dobbins running out of the gun. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
Well, every now and then we have to let a cliche fly, partner. And in this case, what do they say in the NFL? Your best ability is often your availability. And this is an extremely durable kid coming out of Ohio State. Carried the ball every time they even thought about running it. Wore down defenses and able to break big runs late in games. J.K. Dobbins going to Baltimore, an absolute perfect fit.
On 2nd down, a run with Dobbins. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
Well, I can certainly tell my age, partner, because when I was a kid, running backs like J.K. Dobbins with over 2,000 yards in their final season in college, they went early in the draft. Instead, he somehow lasted until the 2nd round. But how great is it to get a guy with that ability who can run it inside, run to the perimeter, and catch the football out of the backfield? To be able to get him in the 2nd round, that's what I call a steal.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Jackson. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. To throw again, Jackson. They set up the screen to Hill. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10.
So many screen passes are the result of excellent acting by everyone, but sometimes the guy who's getting the ball tips the play off. The running back, because he's eager to get the pass, and sometimes he doesn't act very well about whether he's going to block or leak out or whatever, and I think that they saw that, and that's why they're able to get to him on it.
The Raider defense strong on that one in coverage, and now it's 4th.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
So on 4th down, here's the Ravens Pro Bowl kicker Justin Tucker out onto the field. From the right hash, this from 48. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And the Ravens strike first and 3-zip.
Raiders, nothing.
They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was hoping for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. The Raiders set to go to work behind their veteran quarterback, and that's Derek Carr.
And I'll bet right now it's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game, yeah.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
No,
right?
2 touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. He'll set up to throw from the gun. Catch is made by Hunter Renfrow. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Love the idea, love the concept, but you got to leave a little room on the sideline so he can fade into it when he makes the catch. That was thrown too close to it for the receiver to make a play.
Here's the Raiders punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. They'll start with the option. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down. And this, I mean, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that, and here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ball game, and all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
Off the play fake to Dobbins. Here's Jackson. And the Raiders have got him.
Jackson sacked.
Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long.
A big part of a middle linebacker's job is being able to take on blocks and then go make plays. But the best ones, they have those big guys in front of them playing defensive line that hold blockers off of them and allow them to throw aside.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football.
Jerry Carr sacked. Total on the play. Recovered by the offense.
Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. One, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But two, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
The Ravens send their punter out now as he's on here to punt it away. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. A 46-yard punt, 4-yard return. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
Carr now on 1st down. And that'll be incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Carr. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters.
1st and 10.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
The football back over to Baltimore and J.K. Dobbins. First month of the season, those numbers pretty solid. Does he continue that?
I think so, because when you come out of the gate this strong, that means that you have planned for it and you like the results that you're getting. So I wouldn't have any doubt that the head coach, offensive coordinator, actually called him in and said, look, you're our guy, okay? We're going to continue to stick with this as long as we're winning games. You ready for the challenge? And then they presented it to the rest of the team. And I think we'll see plenty of that as this season moves on.
And I'm sure he said challenge accepted.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
From the gun, Jackson. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. A gain of 6 there on 1st. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
And he will have a Ravens 1st down as they're able to convert on 3rd and short yardage with a gain of 4.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And in the next breath, they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up 1st downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. And he's going to keep it here. And here he'll get it down to the 7. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. This is caught. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds, right at the 3. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down. Jackson from the shotgun, eluding the pressure right. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
So much for the best laid plans and best designed plays. That was good coverage along the sidelines. No place for that one to get in there. It sails incomplete.
On second down now, it's Edwards. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Gus Edwards, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as the Ravens push further out in front. People always talk about one of his biggest strengths, running the football, vision, and he found the spot there, went into the end zone.
You're exactly right about that. It wasn't just the vision, right? Once he saw the gap, decisiveness, made up his mind, and about the power to finish the play. Not only did he get good blocking, he created his own space as well.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. He's got it, and now it's a 10-0 lead here in the opening quarter. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Derek Carr and the Raiders set for their next possession. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I'll guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, as a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
Well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. From the gun, it's Carr. And Waller taking it in over the middle. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
From the gun now on 3rd down, Carr. Able to find Waller. That's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First down, Raiders, Carr to Waller.
That's a play that'll likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
10 more
A
yards.
check on Jacobs from a week ago. 20 carries, 84 yards, and a touchdown.
And they love what they've got in him. He's the number 4 rusher in the league right now, so you know that you have to account for him on defense, which means you can play complementary football as well. Throw the play action, get it out to the wide receivers, because they should have some open space, because the defense will key on it.
10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on second down. They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is just going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
Trying to run for it with Jacobs. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Now it appears we've got an injured Raven down there on the field. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now they'll throw with Carr. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. On second down, Jacobs. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Snap comes at 1, and it's Carr. Fine work by the Baltimore defense to help bring up fourth down. So 2 third down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a third, and now they deal with fourth down. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is. The football back over to Baltimore and J.K. Dobbins. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series. So those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Brings up 2nd and 1 at the 50-yard line.
And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Devin Duvernay, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short.
This defense is really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense going to have to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
They'll try and run for the first with Edwards. And the broken tackle helps lead to a first down gain. The drive stays alive, a third down gain of 8.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. They go back to the ground with Dobbins. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Jackson. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Operating from the gun, Jackson. That ball's caught. Aguilar right side. And he's going to come up well shy of the first here as the tackle's made right around the 12.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0.
Raiders, nothing.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Henry Ruggs, the intended receiver. But it's going to be 2nd down. Carr defers to Jacobs on the draw. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
But if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. Throw left side complete. That's Jacobs. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
That's good.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. Man open, that's Henry Ruggs. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Brings up 2nd and 4.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down. Earlier in the quarter when the defense was keying on the run, you said offensively they need to open things up, take some shots downfield. Didn't work there, but they did.
Yeah, I'm not going to change my tune now. I still think it's the right play because when you take those shots downfield, you open the eyes of the defense to what you could do to them, and that may open some things up for you offensively.
The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. This is taken around the 12. A 39-yard punt, a return of 5. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
17
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. The best way to do it, touchdowns.
And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
And he'll get this up only to about the 33. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
That's taken in by Duvernay. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
And he comes back with one complete. And he will have a Ravens first down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5. They just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. You know, Lamar Jackson last season, the first NFL quarterback with 3,000 or more passing yards and 1,000 or more rushing yards in the same season.
And we've seen both of those talents on display here today. We just saw another completed pass. And everyone knew coming out of college he could run the ball. But for some reason, we didn't analyze it throwing the way we should have. And I think every time he completes a pass, he says to himself, take that, evaluators. You guys really missed the boat on me.
And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down.
2nd and 10.
To throw again. Jackson. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big gain.
They'll be in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive. And Jackson throwing once more. Aguilar has it. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. I don't think there's anyone who could possibly doubt how fast he could run on the open field. But if there were, he silenced those thoughts there.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And if you're wondering how fast he was going, Next Gen Stats clocked him at close to 21 miles an hour. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
Yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy. A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Flushed out right to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
The quick slant caught, and he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Devin Duvernay. His first touchdown on the year, and the Ravens will extend their lead. Now Tucker to add the PAT. And that one pushes the lead up to an even 20. So that drive spans 13 plays, and it's capped off by the Baltimore score.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Taken about 7 yards deep. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
25-yard line.
Time again to see Josh Jacobs and this Vegas offense operate. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. A short one here secured by the tight end Waller. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. On first down, Carr. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. But I think the Raiders are going to be able to hold on to it. Yes. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. He'll fire this deep for Gallup. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. That brings up third down.
Marcus Williams on the coverage.
Here's Jacobs from the gun. And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well. So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it. Brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And the football back over to Baltimore and J.K. Dobbins. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. 2nd and 10. Here's Jackson again. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. This time they stay on the ground. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down. So in their own territory, but they only need a few inches, so they're going to opt to go for this thing. We'll see. Maybe a surprise pass or run. What will they do? We're about to find out. Fourth down. And he's going to have a Ravens first down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. From the gun, Jackson. And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack. Maurice Hurst picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
It's second down.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit. But first, let's take a look around the NFL here on this first Sunday of October. We'll get started over at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta, where you see the final score there. Joe Mixon, a touchdown run in the victory. From there, we head over to the West Coast. Check out the Niners at home at Levi Stadium. And you can see they trail in that matchup against the Tampa Bay Bucks. Ronald Jones with 2 touchdowns there. Lastly, let's get you way up to Seattle. See what's happening with the Seahawks. And they've got the lead over the visiting Denver Broncos. The Seahawks still in a dogfight, but this would be a good victory for them if they could get it. In the game you're watching, we've seen a strong first half out of Lamar Jackson. His guys have a 3-touchdown lead as we're about ready to go into the second half. And to get you through it, we give it back to Brandon Gaud.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
The Raiders are going to have it first, and they trail here as we get back to it in this third quarter of action. Fielded near the back of the end zone, and we will not see a return to start the half as this will be a touchback. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. Now a throw here to his running back. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down.
First and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Throwing now is Carr, and nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's second down. Throwing again, Carr. That's caught by Waller out left side. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Again, it's Carr. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Carr to throw again. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. And the Ravens have got it.
Jackson sacked. Fumble on the play.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time it was a turnover.
Yeah, caught up to him. So here are the Ravens to take over on offense. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. From the gun, a run for Hill. And he'll bring this one inside the 35. Now it appears we've got an injured Raven down there on the field. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. Eight yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Here's Dobbins. And he's going to be close to a first down as he gets this to the Raiders' 28. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. From the gun, it's Jackson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short gain.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Justice Hill, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Ravens will add on to their lead. Well, he wasn't the guy they were initially going for, but after going through the progressions, it worked.
When you have plenty of people who can catch the football, you don't always have to go to your primary target, and sometimes that target is actually covered. Nice job coming off of that and getting it to someone who was open.
And a man out of the backfield gets in for the score. And his kick is right through. 5 plays there on that drive. And it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown.
Time to go to work. Let's go.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Shotgun now for Carr. Got his man there, complete to Gallup. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Carr completes it, and he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first. Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 35.
But look what we have here, a sustained drive, and that was certainly AWOL in the first half. They really struggled to try and move the football. But right now, they certainly seem to have the formula working. Let's see if they can keep it up.
And almost intercepted. It would have been his second pick of the game. Instead, it'll be second down. Back to the running game with Jacobs. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
From the gun on third down, Carr. He's going to sling this deep downfield. Fine work by the Baltimore defense to help bring up fourth down.
They certainly had the right read on that one. The weak spot in a cover 2 defense, right down the middle because it really stresses the safeties, and they're going to be a little bit frustrated they weren't able to connect on that one.
And it is good. Oh, that one looked to be in trouble the whole way, but it does get over the bar. And that will cut the lead down to 3 scores at 24. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit third quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
This Ravens offense heads back out there, led by Lamar Jackson. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they've got to protect him better.
They do. They've got to make sure that they give him more than enough time in order to find targets downfield. And sometimes what happens when these things are going on is that the field general will step up and say, hey, that's on me, guys. I didn't get rid of it fast enough. Anything to try and relax them a little bit and take some pressure off because they do know that they are trying.
Yeah, well, we've seen the 4 sacks so far in this contest. Out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. 23 yards, the final tally.
We may be looking at the scoreboard. This offense certainly is not because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They stay on the ground. This time it's Hill. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Escaping the pressure right. Flush to his right. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at third down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
On third down, here's Edwards. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
Tucker's kick is good, and that'll push the lead from 24 up to 27.
Raiders 3.
So that one is his third of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, but 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Okay, can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Operating from the gun. Carr. Reception here by Ruggs. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
They'll run on first down. It's Jacobs, and the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
Second and 11. From the gun, Carr. And he's got the hook up to Ruggs. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Carr. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Can't do that.
Well, instead of 4th down after the incompletion, it'll be 1st down, roughing the passer.
Coaches love their defenses to be aggressive, but they want them to be smart as well. Have to leave the quarterback alone at a certain point.
Now a carry for Jacobs. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
And now you have to wonder, partner, at what point in time do they forget the running game? It's been a struggle so far in this one. I would think they'd have to start throwing it a little bit more.
Second and 11 now. Once again, it's Jacobs. And a pretty good run there as he gets 7 down to the 33.
You've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36.
That's what I'm talking about, baby.
A 3-yard loss on the play.
Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack.
And it appears that this was just a letdown from the offensive line, but they do have a tough job because if you're a big tackle out there on the perimeter, sometimes you don't have the agility to keep up with the defensive end who's looking to wreak havoc in the backfield, and he got there and put his man on the ground.
And according to our friends with Next Gen Stats, that